हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण
प्रभु जी, सादर प्रणाम प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण
प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण दंडवत प्रणाम अंकल।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो
ओम
भगवते
नमो भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम
ओम
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं
नारायणं
नमस्कृत्य
नरं
नमस्कृत्य
चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं
नरं
चैव
चैव
नरोत्तमं
नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो
ततो जयमुदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
यं भागवत
भागवत
सेवया
सेवया।
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भवति नैष्ठिकी।
भर्तृभवति नैष्ठिकी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण
यू
प्रभु
आर
जी,
म्यूटेड
सादर
प्रभु
प्रणाम
जी।
प्रभु जी।
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
प्रभु
कृष्ण
जी।
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण।
आत्मानमिन्द्रियार्थं च
आत्मानम् इन्द्रियार्थं च
परं यत् उभयोरपि
परं यदुभयोरपि
आत्मानम् इन्द्रियार्थं च
आत्मानम्
आत्मानमन्त्रियार्थं
इन्द्रियार्थं
च
परं
च
यत् उभयोरपि
परं
यदुभयोरपि
यदुभयोरपि
सति आशय उपाधौ भये
सत्याशय उपाधौ वे
आशय उपाधौ भये
सत्याशय
सत्याशयोपाधौ
उपाधौ
वे
वै
तान् पश्यति नान्यदा
पुमान्
तान् पश्यति
पश्यति
नान्यदा।
नान्यदा।
आत्मानं इन्द्रियार्थं च
आत्मानम् इन्द्रियार्थं
परं
च
यत् उभयोरपि
परं
परं
यदुभयोरपि
यदुभयोरपि
आशय उपाधौ वै
सत्याशय
सत्याशयोपाधौ
उपाधौ
वे
तान्
वै
पश्यति नान्यदा
पुमान्
पुमान्
पश्यति
पश्यति
नान्यदा।
नान्यदा।
आत्मानमिन्द्रियार्थं च
आत्मानम् इन्द्रियार्थं च
आत्मानमन्त्रियार्थं च
यदुभयोरपि
परं
परं
यदुभयोरपि
यदुभयोरपि
आशय उपाधौ वै
सत्याशयोपाधौ वे
पश्यति नान्यदा
पुमान् पश्यति नान्यदा।
आनन्द्यार्थं च
आत्मानम् इन्द्रियार्थं
आत्मानमिन्द्रियार्थं
च
च
उभयोरपि
परं
परं
यदुभयोरपि
यदुभयोरपि
आशय उपाधौ वै
सत्याशयोपाधौ वे
पश्यति नान्यदा
पुमान् पश्यति
पश्यति नान्यदा।
नान्यदा।
आनन्द्यार्थं च
आत्मानम् इन्द्रियार्थं
आत्मानमिन्द्रियार्थं
च
परं
च
यत् उभयोरपि
परं
परं
यदुभयोरपि
यदुभयोरपि
आशय उपाधौ वै
सत्याशयोपाधौ वे
पश्यति नान्यदा
पुमान् पश्यति नान्यदा
इन्द्रियार्थं च
आत्मानमिन्द्रियार्थञ्च
यदुभयोरपि
परं यदुभयोरपि
उपाधौ वै
तस्याश्रयोपाधो वे
पश्यति नान्यदा
पुमान् पश्यति नान्यदा
आत्मानं इन्द्रियार्थं च परं यदुभयोरपि सत्याशय उपाधौ वै पुमान् पश्यति नान्यदा
Atmanam, the soul, Indriya Artham, for sense gratification, Cha, Param, transcendental, Yat, That, Uvayoho, both, Api, certainly, Sati, being situated, Ashaye, material desires, Padho, designation, Vai, certainty, Uman, the person, Pashyati, sees, Na anyada, not otherwise. When the soul exists for sense gratification, he creates different desires. And for that reason, he becomes subject to designation. But when one is in a transcendental position, is no longer interested in anything except fulfilling the desires of the Lord. When the soul exists for sense gratification,
When the soul exists for sense
he
gratification,
creates different desires.
it creates different desires.
And for that reason,
And for that
he
reason,
becomes subjected to designations.
he becomes subjected to designation.
But when is in the transcendental position,
But when one is in the
he is no
transcendental
longer
position,
interested in
he is no longer interested in
anything
anything
except
except
fulfilling the desires of the Lord.
fulfilling the desires of the Lord.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Being covered by material desires, a spirit soul is also considered to be covered by designations belonging to a particular type of body. Thus, he considers himself an animal, man, demigod, bird, beast, etc. In so many ways, he is influenced by false identification caused by false egotism, and being covered by illusory material desires, he distinguishes between matter and spirit. When one is devoid of such distinctions, there is no longer a difference between matter and the spirit. At that time, the spirit is the only predominating factor. As long as one is covered by material desires, he thinks himself the master or the enjoyer. Thus, he acts for sense gratification and becomes subjected to material pangs, happiness, and distress. But when one is free from such a concept of life, he is no longer subjected to designations and he envisions everything as spiritual in connection with the Supreme Lord. This is explained by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.255. अनासक्त्य विषयान् यदार्थम् उपयुञ्जतः निर्बन्धः कृष्णसम्बन्धे युक्तं वैराग्यमुच्यते. The liberated person has no attachment for anything material or for sense gratification. He understands that everything is connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that everything should be engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, he does not give up anything. There is no question of renouncing anything because the Paramahamsa knows how to engage everything in the service of the Lord. Originally, everything is spiritual, nothing is material. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 8.274, also, it is explained that a Mahabhagavata, a highly active devotee, has no material vision. Stavara Jangama Deke Nirvik Paramurti Sarvatra Haya Nija Ishtadeva Spurti. Although he sees trees, mountains, and other living entities moving here and there, he sees all as a creation of the Supreme Lord, and with reference to the God, sees only the creator and not the created. In other words, he no longer distinguishes between the created and the creator. He sees only the Supreme Personality of Godhead in everything. He sees Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We'll do a little Shravana more. Very beautiful verses actually. Nimitte sati sarvatra
निमित्ते सति सर्वत्र
Yaladav api purushaha
जलादावपि पूरुषः
Atmanascha parasyapi
आत्मनश्च परस्यापि
Idham pashyati nanyada.
विदां पश्यति नान्यदा.
Only because of different causes does a person see difference between himself and others. Just as one sees the reflection of the body appearing differently manifested on water, oil, or in a mirror.
Purport. The spirit soul is one, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is manifested in Swa-amsha and Vibhinnamsha expansions. The jivas are Vibhinnamsha expansions. The different incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are Swa-amsha expansions. Thus, there are different potencies of the Supreme Lord and there are different expansions of the different potencies. In this way, for different reasons, there are different expansions of the same one principle, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This understanding is real knowledge, but when the living entity is covered by the upadhi or designated body, he sees differences exactly as one sees differences in reflections of oneself on water, on oil, or in a mirror. When something is reflected on the water, it appears to be moving. When it is reflected on ice, it appears fixed. When it is reflected on oil, it appears hazy. The subject is one, but under different conditions, it appears differently. When the qualifying factor is taken away, the whole appears to be one. In other words, when one comes to Paramahamsa or perfectional stage of life by practicing Bhakti Yoga, he sees only Krishna everywhere. For him, there is no other objective. In conclusion, due to different causes, the living entity is visible in different forms as an animal, human being, demigod, tree, etc. Actually, every living entity is a marginal potency of the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 5.18, therefore, it is explained that one who actually sees the spirit soul does not distinguish between a learned brahmana and a dog, an elephant, or a cow. Panditaha Samadashinaha. One who is actually learned sees only the living entity, not the outward covering. Differentiation is therefore the result of different karma or fruitive activities, and when we stop fruitive activities, turning them into acts of devotion, we can understand that we are not different from anyone else, regardless of the form. This is only possible in Krishna consciousness. In this movement, there are many different races of men from all parts of the world participating, but because they think of themselves as servants of the Supreme Personality of God, they do not differentiate between black and white, yellow and red. The Krishna conscious movement is therefore the only make peace free from all designation.
One more. Indriya Vishaye Krishnai
इन्द्रियैर्विषय आकृष्टीर्
Indriya Vishaya Krishnai
इन्द्रियैर्विषयाकृष्टिर्
Akshiptam Dhyayatam Manaha
आक्षिप्तं ध्यायतां मनः
Chetanam Harate Buddhihe
चेतनां हरते बुद्धिः
Sambastoyam Ivahrata.
स्तम्भस्तोऽयमिवाहृदात्.
Once the mind and senses are attracted to sense objects for enjoyment, the mind becomes agitated. As a result of continuously thinking of sense objects, one's real consciousness almost becomes lost. Just like water in a lake that is gradually sucked up by the big grass straws on its bank. Yes.
Purport. In this verse, it is very nicely explained how our Krishnal consciousness becomes polluted and we gradually become almost completely forgetful of our relationship with the Supreme. In the previous verse, it is recommended that we should always keep in touch with the devotional service of the Lord so that the blazing fire of devotional service can gradually burn into ashes, material desires, and we can become liberated from the repetition of birth and death. This is also how we can indirectly keep a staunch faith in the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When the mind is allowed to think of sense gratification continuously, it becomes a cause of a material bondage. If a mind is simply filled with sense gratification, even though we want Krishna consciousness, by continuous practice, we cannot forget the subject matter of sense gratification. If one takes up the sannyasa order of life but is not able to control the mind, he will think of objects of sense gratification, namely family, society, expensive house, etc. Even though he goes to the Himalayas or the forest, his mind will continue thinking of the objects of sense gratification. In this way, gradually one's intelligence will be affected. When intelligence is affected, one loses his original taste for Krishna consciousness. The example given here is when if a big lake is covered all around by long kusha grass, just like columns, the waters dry up. Similarly, when the big columns of material desire increase, the clear water of consciousness is dried up. Therefore, these columns of kusha grass should be cut or thrown away from the very beginning. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed that if from the very beginning we do not take care of the unwanted grass in the paddy fields, the fertilizer agents or water will be used by them and the paddy plants will dry up. The material desire for sense enjoyment is a cause of a fall down in this material world, and thus we suffer the threefold miseries and continuous birth, death, old age, and disease. However, if we turn our desires towards the transcendental loving service of the Lord, our desires become purified. We cannot kill desires. We have to purify them of different disciplines. If we constantly think of being a member of a particular nation, society, or family and continuously think about them, we become very strongly entangled in the conditional life of birth and death. But if desires are applied to the service of the Lord, they become purified and thus we become immediately freed from the material contamination. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Indriya Vishaya Krishna Akshiptam Dhyayatam Manaha
आक्षिप्तं ध्यायतां मनः
Chetanam Harate Buddhe
चेतनां हरते बुद्धिः
Ambastoyam Ivahrada.
संबस्तोऽयमिवाहिदा.
When the mind is sensitive, attracted to the sense objects for enjoyment, the mind becomes agitated. As a result, a continuous thinking of sense objects, one's real consciousness becomes lost. Just like a water in a lake that is gradually sucked up by the big grass straws on its bank. Hare Krishna, everybody. So some Shravanam, now the instructions are coming from 4 Kumaras. Just like we have nectar of instruction, Rupa Goswami is giving 11 important tips of spiritual life. So similarly here we have the four Kumaras giving us some tips about our spiritual life. And it's very important instruction. If you see. Very interesting thing is that there's, yesterday we just briefly think, we can meditate on that if you see our image in mirror, in water and oil, it is different. Something similar to, we say Sattva-guna, Raja-guna, Tamo-guna. Sattva-guna, the glass is clean. Rajaguna, the glass starts becoming some color. Tamoguna, it becomes black, you can't see anything. Now you can say, I am not able to see, because that is because of your guna. Tamasic person cannot see anything. So something very similar here. It is said, when we can see our image in a mirror, we can see the things as it is. But then when you see in water, it is always shaking. Now, when it is shaking, we think the image is shaking. But actually the water is shaking. The Bhagavatam analogy also of the moon. When we see in water, if the water is shaking, the image of the moon is also shaking. So similarly, when our heart is full of material desires and it is shaking because of that, our perception of the world also changes. Our conclusions changes, our conviction changes, our realization changes. You know, two people, they say this is right, this is wrong. Actually, it is because of the modes they're speaking. In the Bhagavad Gita, so much time is spent in the 16th, 17th, 18th chapter on this. Everything changes. Sattvic person, this is like this. Rasic person, no. It is said the Sattvic person likes something and Rasic person doesn't like it. It said the worship, the Tamasic people, they like to worship the ghost. That is very much true in our place. The Rasic person, they worship demons. The Sattvic person, they worship devatas. And Krishna conscious person, they worship Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I give them the faith. You know, they have faith. Yeah, I should worship ghost, I should worship Daiva. Krishna gives them that faith. You know, some people said, this is not ghost, but what else is ghost worship? Daiva puja is ghost worship. Correct? They get the faith, yes, I should worship. That is how it is. Faith, strong faith. You know, in our area, if you go to anybody and the image in the mobile, you know, generally people have Krishna, Radharani. I have so many times seen big people, they are deans of the colleges, there's always one Daiva. You go to puja shop also, they will have some Daiva puja, Daiva. You may not find Krishna, but Daiva you will find. But people like to worship. And then if you see their habits, they're all drinking and having meat. So we know why such kind of faith they are investing, they have. So this is the reality. But then if we can introduce them to Krishna consciousness, they will change. Okay, so they will change if they are introduced to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said, we read a few verses before, don't do ninda. If you do ninda, people get hurt. Correct? But this is tamasic. Yeah, we know that. We don't tell them on their face. They feel hurt. You just introduced to the Krishna consciousness, which is transcendental religion, people will automatically take it. When Prabhupada went to America, what he was doing? He was doing Ninda. He was chanting Krishna now. No, you are not doing correct, you are not. No, he was not wasting time on that. He was giving them the pleasure of Krishna consciousness, which is the highest religion in the world. Prabhupada introduced. And people are so happy by just hearing the holy name and the pleasure of the holy name. Everybody is so wonderful. This is so wonderful. Automatically we become attracted. So when we meet somebody, because of the grace of Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have the highest thing possible. Paro Dharma. Paro, the topmost religion we have got. But now when we meet people, we talk to them sometimes, they say, no, I am worshipping Devi. We know this is second class, but we won't criticize that. Okay, very nice. Because many a time these are also from the Vedas only. It is given in the Vedas. So we cannot criticize in the sense that becomes an offense. He's following. But he rigorously is following the Shastra for Rasic Puja, Tamsik Puja, he is following rigorously. You cannot say one of the offenses to make offense to the Vedic literature. It is there in the Vedic literature. Do we do that? We go in front of somewhere somebody is doing Daiva Puja or Deva Puja, we go and say, don't do this. No, you cannot say that. We can attract them to the higher portion. So anyway, so the whole thing is based on our desires, whole thing. And very interesting thing, designation is coming because of desire. Oh my God, what is this? The designation connected to them. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvaina nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevana bhakti uttamam. Correct? So designation cannot be given up unless the desires are given. Like connected. It says sarvopadi vinirmuktam, give up all kind of upadis, tat paratvena nirmalam, and become free from all this upadis. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam, give up all this upadis, tat paratvena nirmalam, and the mind becomes peaceful, no upadi. Rishikena rishikesha sevanam, serving the Lord with the senses. Rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti uttamam. That is now Shuddha Bhakti. Okay. See what happens when you want to satisfy the desires. A person who wants to satisfy the desires, he gets easily insulted and hurt. Because satisfaction of desires, that is why we are in the material world in different upadhi. Different upadhi, so-called, it's a temporary situation in this world, some upadhi. I am this. That facilitates my sense enjoyment. It gives some kind of a surety to my sense enjoyment, some kind of a maintenance of my sense enjoyment. When the material desires when the upadhi is taken away, you cannot enjoy. Correct? I am the king of the world. That upadhi facilitates your sense enjoyment. And facilitates thinking you are independent of the Supreme Lord. And then the sense enjoyment starts. But the person who is pure in the heart, he has only one upadhi, I am servant of Krishna. There is no sense enjoyment. Right? These all upadhis are some kind of an illusion. And it vanishes away for a devotee. A devotee doesn't have any, he's not in illusion, he knows the reality. Therefore they say a devotee becomes humble. No, because he's free from upadhi. Opposite of humility is pride. Why there is pride? Because except thinking I am servant of Krishna, I am thinking so many things. And therefore there is pride. I am this, I am that. Why it is coming? Because the moment we think I am something independent of Krishna, then only I can enjoy. Because suppose somebody is very conscious, very clear, he is part and parcel of Krishna, there is no question of any enjoyment. Is always, all the time seeing the words, Stavara, Jangama, Deke, Deke, Natara, Murti, Saroto, Yeshta, Devitku. Everything he sees in the word, he sees in connection to Krishna. He looks at himself as a servant of the Lord. Where there is any enjoyment, there is no chance of enjoyment. Enjoyment only happens in illusion. So the Maya, these are all products of Maya. Upadhi is a product of Maya. Therefore, in life sometimes what happens, Krishna creates purification. Somebody will come and tell us something to us and we get hurt because of upadhi we are having. Because we have upadhi, we get hurt. There is no upadhi, we never get hurt. Mana, apmana is part of the world. Somebody will honor us, that time we are silent. Correct. Somebody will dishonor us, that time we are not silent. Both the time we should be silent, because both the time it is wrong. We don't deserve any honor in this world. So therefore, a person who is in sense enjoyment, there is a gross sense enjoyment, then definitely there is subtle sense enjoyment. Shri Radha Govinda ki, suppose there is water, then definitely there is vapor. Correct? Suppose there is no water, then vapor may be there, may not be there. But if water is there, definitely vapor is there. So somebody is having gross physical sense enjoyment, definitely he has subtle sense enjoyment. Man, puja, pratishtha is subtle sense enjoyment. And a gross sense enjoyment are so many in this world. So when we come to Krishna consciousness, when you hear the holy name, first thing that happens to us, our life becomes regulated. First thing. We don't break regulated principles. We live a very organized, planned life. What happened? The first thing, when you hear the holy name, because Sattva means person lives a very organized life. Rajagoda, he works very hard, he doesn't even sleep 6 hours. Very interesting. Tamogoda person sleeps 12 hours. Rajagoda, he sleeps 4 hours. Sattva, he sleeps exact what he should do. Yeah? Because Rajagoda, he has so many desires, he cannot sleep in the night. Tamagoda though, he will sleep 20 hours. He will sleep again and again. Rajagoda means he can't sleep. Sattva, exact. You see Srila Prabhupada's life, same time, he does same thing every day. What is the time now? 6 o'clock. They'll go for a walk. Every day, same time, same thing, any part of the world. Correct? What is the time now? Night 10 o'clock? Now let me write. Peaceful. You don't find Prabhupada running anytime. Don't find. Peaceful. Big things happen in Sattva-Guda. Rajagoda, what happens? It looks like big things will happen, but it is 2 steps forward and 10 steps backward. Many times people think that a devotee, just like a student in a college, they feel the devotee what he will achieve because he has no goal. I want to become big, you should have a goal like that and work double, triple, and then health gets spoiled, mind gets spoiled, some sinful activities happen and 10 steps backward. And they become frustrated, depressed, because all the time you cannot be the topper. Sometimes you are lucky, you are the topper in a college. Sometimes somebody does better than they go into depression, jealousy, it's 10 steps backward. But a devotee, how will he study? Yes, that is, I am in this ashram now, I am brahmachari. My duty is to study. He's studying very peacefully as a matter of duty. Somebody does better than him. Wonderful. Correct? Even in devotional activities, we do decoration, somebody does better, we don't feel, why they are glorifying him more than him? No. Our Prabhuji, how you do so well? Sattva-Guda. It's my duty. He's not thinking he should get credit. Nobody is giving me credit. Nobody is telling I'm wonderful. He's not thinking of that at all. He's just thinking it's my duty. He's doing it so peacefully, consistently, day by day. He's able to maintain his service. When you do service, not everybody will glorify. 2 people will glorify, 10 will criticize. This is the word. But he's simply lazy person. It does not affect it. I'm just doing my duty. And I'm seeking, when his mode is, please bless me so that I do service properly to the Lord. So even if somebody is envious, that envy will go away. No upadhi. No upadhi. But when we are in service also seeking some kind of strong, we have an illusion of sense enjoyment, then we everywhere, water is there, vapor will always be there. So the person becomes very sensitive. Why I am not being honored? Why I am not being recognized? I am working so hard, the others are just sleeping. The mind will go into some other world. But a devotee, please give me blessing, is feeling so fortunate that he has an opportunity to serve Krishna. And in that realm, he is only peaceful and happy. Very happy. So this is very interesting, watching in water, in a mirror and in oil. Mirror is clear, like Sattva-guda. You can see things. Proper Sattva-guda means you can see things as they are. Okay? That is Sattva-guda. You can see the truth. Raja-guda is like seeing in water, it is shaking. What is shaking? Our material desires are shaking. So we cannot see. And Tamo-guda is seeing in oil. It's very, very hazy. You can't see your face also. It's very, very hazy. So we do not blame the Lord. It is we who is creating, in Hindi say pratibimb. We are creating pratibimb in something else. Something we are creating. The illusion is created in this world. But then mirror is factual, water is factual, oil is factual, all the three exist. The Mayavadis also talk about this world is nothing but a pratibimb. It's a reflection. Right? Bhagavad Gita also, there is a whole chapter on this, 15th chapter. Urdham Moolam Adha Shakha. This word is a reflection of the spiritual world. And it is very difficult. Everything looks same. But Krishna, who is the designer of this world, has given some hint to understand how we are in a world of illusion. He creates this world and people are lost in the illusion of this world. But those who want to come out of the illusion of the world, Krishna gives some secrets. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanudarshanam. This is a hint. Okay, we are thinking this world is very wonderful. Krishna says, wait a minute. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha. I'm thinking this is a wonderful place, but the place is actually full of suffering. It looks, when you look at it, when you get up in the morning, you see in this world, oh, the nice world for suffering. It's actually a yatana sharira we are having. We are not having sharira for enjoyment. We are having sharira for yatana. Just like in a traditional old jails. Every day you are called up, they bring sticks and then they start beating you. Thud, 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 thud. They're beating you every day. Traditional old jails, they nicely hit you. 100 whips, 20 whips, they will take your skin out of the body. It's very, very painful. We can see that's happening. So the same, we think also when you look at the body, nice body for enjoyment. But actually it's a body for pain, for giving you yatana. We are so much feeling the body as comfortable, as sweet. When you look at the mirror, oh my, this is the body which is going to give. Through this body I will get pain, and pain which is unimaginable. When they say the pain of the death, we can't even imagine. And this body is going to give you. We are thinking very happy with this body, but we should be scared of this body because this body is the source of unlimited pain for us. It is not a source of pleasure. It's a source of unlimited pain, which will going to come one by one. So many varieties it will come. In old age, people start praying, my Lord, if I can die. It becomes so miserable, right? We have seen our parents and grandparents suffer. It becomes so miserable, and so much pain. Srila Prabhupada used to himself give some idea about, he said, continuously I'm hearing some sound. The metal body breaks down, starts breaking down, correct? Srila Prabhupada kept preaching from this body till the last minute, and being transcendental to this body, he was always peaceful. Prabhupada was never crying, oh, so much pain of my leg. No. He is transcendental, giving Bhagavatam purports till the last minute. But if you do not have realizations, then it will become very, very difficult as we grow in this body. So this is very good. Prabhupada used to say, if somebody doesn't listen philosophy, talk about death. Immediately becomes philosophy. It's a beautiful design by the Lord. It helps us to preach. And it helps us also to become introspective. So Krishna's design is very beautiful, this world. So therefore, the devotee has only one plan, how to serve Krishna, how to serve Sri Radha Govinda, and then everything vanishes away. There is no, the Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jiva Krishna Das, E Vishwas, Karle Tara Dukhanai. Just accept this fact. I am a servant of Sri Radha Govinda. There is no suffering after that. Ara, Karle Ara Dukha Nai. You have no suffering after that. All the suffering is because I am not placing myself in the right situation. We can firmly, Vishwas will not suddenly develop into full, gradually it will develop. Faith, Vishwas is sign of spiritual advancement. And now Prabhupada says that our dog also feels, he's a dog. So we are also feeling I am a material body, and that is what it is. And I then do sense enjoyment. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante vam buddha bhava samanvitaha. It's very clear in Bhagavad Gita, first Chatushloka of the Gita. I am the origin of everything. And if you accept that, you'll worship me with great devotion. But that's faith. We are doing that, but gradually as we get purified, our heart becomes fixed on the truth. All upadhis vanish away. Only one upadhi. I am a servant of Krishna. Krishna is the origin of everything. And when somebody understands Krishna is the origin of everything, the bhava samanvitaha, with great determination, he serves Krishna. So there is somewhere that faith has to develop. See, everybody does two things. He does service to Krishna, and he also does sense enjoyment. Correct? Everybody. We are in the middle stage. Karmi only does sense enjoyment. And acharyas, great devotees, like Srila Prabhupada, they only do service to Krishna. For us, some percentage service to Krishna, some percentage service to senses. Correct? It's mixed. It shows the faith. The faith is strong, only service to Krishna. Faith is weak, only sense enjoyment. So that is fall down. Fall down means he loses his discrimination. It is said we should abandon a guru who has lost his discrimination. Just like Shukracharya lost his discrimination, we should serve Vishnu or we should do our own comforts. So Bali Maharaj abandoned. Right? It is so serious. Guru or an elder Vaishnava means what? Not by age. Correct? not by time in ISKCON, by realization. See, a respect is given to a person because of three reasons. Number one, because of age. That's the etiquette. Any elder person should be respected. Second thing, it is in ISKCON it is given because of time. Oh, you are in ISKCON for 30 years, 40 years. We give them respect. Second reason. But the most important reason from the heart it will be realization. Correct? And what is realization? It's faith. Correct? Devotee, you meet some devotee, he increases your faith in the holy name, he increases your faith in Srila Prabhupada. Wonderful. You know? It's natural. So much faith I am getting. He increases your faith in Srila Prabhupada books. He increases your faith in the holy name. You seek his association. You know? His faith is very strong. So what do you see, Srila Prabhupada? Very strong faith. What is us? No faith. And therefore faith is weak, therefore we do more of sense. So where we are situated, it depends on the faith. Totally sense enjoyment, no faith. Kanishtatikari, he understands but still, chants but also doesn't. Uttamadikari, full faith. This faith is actually changing as our consciousness improves. And upadhis are a sign of weak faith. It's still not able to be fixed. Therefore say fixed up. This devotee is fixed up, means his faith is very strong. So Srila Prabhupada has very kindly given us the opportunity, given us wonderful books, given us this wonderful movement, wonderful devotees, wonderful prasadam, wonderful temples, everything so wonderful. We take benefit of that and gradually advance in our Krishna consciousness. And it is all the unwanted upadhis, and then only one upadhi, I am a servant of Krishna, and we go back to Krishna. So here from Mangalore, devotees left yesterday. I think they made a wrong calculation. They left 1 day early. They're going to reach 1 day early Vrindavan as per the yatra. But I think most of you, those who are leaving by train, you will be leaving tomorrow. Those are coming from South India. North India, you will be leaving even on 22nd. Those are going to flight or 21st. Hare Krishna. So we will see many of you now in Vrindavan. Correct? Hare Krishna everybody.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare
We are all
Krishna,
leaving today.
Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji from Chennai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Sadhu Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Sada Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Prabhupada
Prabhuji.
ki,
Jai.
Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
Jai.